Thanks for clicking in. I'm Rex Harden, Mayor of the great city of Pompano Beach. Today I'm excited to share an update on the Progress in Pompano project on Atlantic Boulevard and Dixie Highway. Through careful study, we have created a win-win plan, designing a safer roadway for everyone while producing the optimal impact for drivers. To explain the details of the plan, I'd like to introduce Sandra King and Joaquin Vargas.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm sitting here with Joaquin Vargas. And Joaquin, just for purposes so everyone understands your expertise, can you tell us just a little bit about your background?
Well, first of all, Sandra, thank you for having me here. I'm a professional engineer, and I also have a specialty in traffic engineering. I've been practicing traffic engineer for over 30 years in South Florida, and I've served over 15 municipalities and also for the Florida Department of Transportation. And I've been involved in probably over 1,000 traffic studies, most of them right here in Broward County.
Wow. So we all know when we started this process that the traffic was bad. And you spent the last 4 months figuring out the traffic patterns and analyzing the design so that the ultimate conditions will be much better. Can you describe what's happened since October and what are the results?
Well, Sandra, you're right. Traffic was bad. I will tell you that we were expecting that. Anytime that you have a change in traffic patterns and you have lanes that are eliminated, congestion occurs. So that was expected. And as you said, we spent the last 4 to 5 months trying to optimize the system, and we're there. With that, I'd like to bring your attention to this graphic that I have. And this is the critical section of Atlantic Boulevard. This is from Dixie Highway on the left side of the screen, which is west, all the way to east of Cypress Road. Now, there are many colors, and I'd like to describe those for the benefit of the public. Let me first start with the yellow color. These are lanes that were eliminated. The reason that I'm showing them in yellow is because those lanes were eliminated as part of the elimination of the traffic signal on First Avenue. Every time you eliminate a traffic signal that's not needed, you improve safety and you improve traffic flow, which is what we want to accomplish. Now let's look at the sections that are in dark blue. I will first start at Dixie Highway. You will see 3 sections there. Those were lanes that were reopened to traffic. 2 lanes going south on Dixie and 1 lane going north on Dixie. You'll see also that prior to Cypress Road, we also had some lanes that were brought back up. And east of Dixie, the famous merge condition that we've all experienced while we're traveling to the beach. You'll see that on the right side of the screen, there's a small section with a maroonish color. Traffic that's traveling westbound on Atlantic Boulevard that wants to turn left to go south on Cypress, there are 2 left turn lanes. Sometimes during the peak period, a left turn vehicle cannot enter the left turn lanes because they're not long enough. And that vehicle has to stop on the through lane, and that's a safety hazard and also impedes traffic flow. That's going to be fixed as part of this project. And then the last portion is you'll see 2 small sections with a light blue. That's all we're eliminating as part of this project, and that was part of our optimization process during the last 4 to 5 months.
It sounds like all the lanes were analyzed, and in the end, very few changes were actually made to the road. But the city is still getting all the benefits of a safe and modern design that's for people as well as cars. That's good news.
That is really good news, Sandra.
So what does this mean for the traveler? So how much time will be added to someone's commute?
That's a great question. And what I like to do is I'd like to present another chart. And if you see on the screen, you'll see a series of bar graphs. And let me first start with the first one. What these graphs indicate is what's the average travel time for the motorist going westbound on Atlantic Boulevard. We all know that the problem has been in the westbound direction. And this focuses in the westbound direction, starting at 11th Avenue, northeast 11th Avenue, going west towards I-95, all the way to northwest 6th Avenue. As you can see, prior to installing all these delineators, travel time was about 3 minutes. And you see that then it jumped to 9.5 minutes. It dropped again to 7 minutes and 43 seconds. I've been reporting during the commission meetings that this time is not acceptable. We still have to improve it more. And look at the second to last graph. We're 5 minutes and 51 seconds. That is a little over 2.5 minutes from where we want to be. And I will point out that during that time, we had one more train interruption when we compare it against the 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Every time there's a train interruption, traffic has to stop and it takes time to recover. But look what happened after 6 p.m., the typical peak hour. From 6 to 7, it dropped to 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 36 seconds. We're there. And we know we still have room for improvements. It can be optimized further.
So let me get this right. Just 2 minutes may be added to the travel time for westbound traffic during rush hour only, and virtually no additional time for the other 22 to 23 hours?
That is correct.
Wow, that's amazing. So why was traffic so incredibly slow during that first phase?
Well, as you saw on the first graph that I talked about, there were multiple lanes that were reopened to traffic, and that was part of the optimization process. The other thing is that this testing was done with delineators. Other people call it flexible posts. Well, they create what we call side friction. Traffic behaves differently when you have those delineators, as opposed to the permanent solution, which is a landscape median. Traffic doesn't shy away from that. Traffic moves much better. And then the last thing is the coordination of the traffic signals. We worked very closely with Broward County Traffic Engineering Division, and I have to say, they were wonderful to work with. The county was. And this takes time. We have to first try to come up with the optimum timing plan, and then we have to test it in the field, and then go back and try to do some additional optimization. Those were the primary reasons why we had to do this and why we had to expose the public to all that congestion during 4 or 5 months.
Just have to ask, was there an option to leaving all the lanes open?
That was not an option, Sandra. And safety is our top priority. And one of the things that I reported during one of the commission hearings is that this section of Atlantic Boulevard has twice the number of accidents than it should have. That is significant. When we compare this section of roadway against other similar roadways in the state, we have twice as many crashes. So safety is very important. And that's why we have to come up with a solution that improves safety for all modes of transportation. And that includes pedestrians, that includes bicyclists, that includes school children. There is a school in the immediate vicinity prior to the start of the school and at the end of the school period. Also, individuals that want to access public transportation. And finally, the traveling motorists.
Joaquin, thank you so much for wrapping up some of these questions. I know we all have curiosity as to exactly what was going on. Is there anything else you'd like to add to wrap things up?
I know it's been very painful. There's been a lot of traffic congestion, and that was expected as part of this process. We made a lot of progress. As you saw in those graphs, we're there. So we achieved our goal, which is to improve safety and also minimize the impact to the traveling motorist. And I think this is going to work incredibly well for the overall success of the future downtown of the city of Pompano Beach.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Sandra and Joaquin, for this concise and informative vision. Most of all, though, I'd like to thank our residents and visitors for their patience throughout this process while we produce progress in Pompano.